Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're talking about why just, sprinkling a little AI on top of your current business model isn't going to cut it. That's like putting a jet engine on a horse-drawn cart. AI isn't just an upgrade, it's a total game changer that forces us to tear down our old corporate blueprints and rebuild everything from scratch, starting with the very assumptions we've held for decades.
So here's the plan for today. First, we're going to look at why so many companies are, frankly, built on a foundation of sand. Then we'll get into the new rules of the AI era and what it actually means to upgrade your business's entire operating system. After that, we'll lay out the 5 new cornerstones for this new design, talk about the ultimate goal of building a system that can evolve, and then we'll wrap up by turning the spotlight back on you with 3 really tough questions.
Okay, let's dive right in. I want you to think about this for a second. What if the very strategy your company is built on, everything you think you know about how to win, is actually built on sand? What if it's about to be washed away?
Huawei's founder, Ren Zhenzfei, just nailed it with this quote: "Strategy is like a domino effect. It all starts with your basic assumptions, and if you get that first domino wrong, the whole line collapses. Your strategy is basically dead on arrival."
This right here is the question every single leader needs to be asking themselves right now. Because a lot of the core beliefs we've all been running on for the last 50 years aren't just a little outdated, they're becoming flat out wrong. And that's dangerous. So, do any of these assumptions sound familiar? The idea that people are just, stable cogs in a machine, that a rigid pyramid hierarchy is the best way to get things done, or that the future is just going to unfold in a nice, neat, predictable line. If that's your company's mindset, you're basically running an old piece of software in a brand new world. You're building on sand. Okay, so if the old rules are broken, what are the new ones? Well, in the AI era, we have got to stop thinking of AI as just another piece of software. It is not a tool you just pick up and put down. It's a fundamental force that is rewriting the rules of work, of value, of how we collaborate. It's a whole new kind of teammate.
So here's the critical idea. AI isn't some external thing. It's an agent, almost like a digital employee that's embedded right inside your system. It's capable of doing work, sure, but way more importantly, it's capable of learning and evolving all by itself. This gives your company a completely new kind of engine, one that doesn't just run on human brain power. And that changes absolutely everything. This new reality, it demands more than just a new strategy PowerPoint. It requires a complete upgrade of your company's core operating system, what our source material calls its enterprise basic law. We're talking about a jump from version 1.0 to 2.0.
And the fundamental shift is right here on this slide. We are moving away from systems that are designed entirely around people, their limitations, their communication styles, their hierarchies, and we're moving toward a new system that's designed for a true partnership, a symbiosis between humans and intelligent machines. Now, this is where it gets really interesting when you see the upgrade side by side. Just look at strategy for a second. We're going from these rigid 5-year plans to making real-time adjustments based on live data. Or how about incentives? We're moving away from pay based on your job title and toward dynamic rewards based on your actual contribution. And that includes the contribution of the AI agents. This isn't just a minor tweak. It's a complete rewrite of how business gets done.
So you're probably asking, how do we actually build this new operating system? Well, you can't just download it. It has to be designed from the ground up, and that design rests on 5 brand new foundational pillars or cornerstones. Okay, here they are, the 5 principles for your new blueprint. You have to redefine your mission, embed AI into your actual strategy, evolve how you govern the whole thing, systematize your company's purpose, and finally, build the entire organization so that it's designed to evolve. Let's walk through each one. First up, your mission statement itself has to change. It can't just be about what your people do anymore. It has to be bigger. It has to include the value that's created when humans and AI work together. Microsoft's Copilot Everywhere strategy is a perfect example. They're not just selling you a tool. They're making AI a fundamental part of the organizational infrastructure. They're changing their entire mission to be about making everyone that's human plus AI way more productive and capable. Second, your strategy meetings need a new seat at the table, and that seat is for AI. This means you have to start asking some really deep questions, like which business processes are our AI agents going to own? Which decisions will they help us make? And maybe most importantly, you have to start treating data and compute power as core strategic assets, every bit as critical as your factories or your best salespeople. All right, number 3, governance has to evolve. Now, this slide mentions compute power and distribution power, and that's critical. See, it's not just about who has authority over people anymore. Now it's about who controls the AI's processing power, and this is a big one. Who gets to decide how the value created by that AI is distributed? I mean, if an AI agent closes 70% of a deal, who gets the commission? That is not an IT problem. That is a fundamental question of power that has to be answered at the very top.
Fourth, your company's values, its purpose, its intent, it can't just live on some pretty posters on the wall anymore. It has to be written directly into the code of your operations. It has to guide the behavior of not just your people, but your AI agents too. The system itself has to become a reflection of what you actually stand for.
And finally, number 5. This new organizational design can't be some static document that gets carved in stone. It has to be a living, breathing system. You have to think of it like software, with version control and regular updates that are based on performance data and feedback loops. ByteDance, for instance, has internal tools that literally track how effective the organization is, allowing them to tweak the rules as they go.
And that last cornerstone brings us to the ultimate goal here. It's not about creating the perfect system for right now. No, the real goal is to create a system that is designed to redesign itself for tomorrow. This idea is called meta-governance.
A fantastic example of this is Amazon's famous Day One culture. It's so much more than a slogan. It's a set of deep-seated principles, like customer obsession and a bias for action, that act as a meta-rule. It's a rule that constantly forces the organization to question itself, to reinvent, and to never, ever get complacent. It is a system designed to evolve.
And Tesla gives us another powerful way to think about this. Their meta rule is first principles thinking. By constantly forcing everyone to ignore convention and rebuild solutions from the most basic, fundamental truths, they literally build the capacity for radical, continuous innovation right into the company's DNA.
All right, so after all that, let's bring it home. Let's turn this back to you. How ready is your organization for this new era? Here are 3 pretty critical questions to help you figure out where you really stand.
First, I want you to take an honest look at your org chart. Is power and authority still tied exclusively to a person's job title in some rigid pyramid? Is your company, at its core, still built for the industrial age?
Second, is AI a genuine partner in how work actually gets done every single day? Is it embedded in your core workflows, in your decision-making, or is it still just kind of a fancy tool that a few people on the sidelines are playing with? And finally, maybe the most important question of all, are you consciously and actively designing an organization that can adapt, learn, and evolve? Or are you just sticking with a rigid system that, let's be honest, will eventually become brittle and break in the face of all this change?
Because at the end of the day, your real strategy isn't that mission statement on your website or the vision you put in a slide deck. It's the living, breathing set of rules that governs how your organization actually operates and evolves every single day. If your core logic is getting old, your whole company is getting old with it. It's time to start writing the rules for version 2.0.